Alright, so welcome to our brand new lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover that day's newspaper, important news items in that day's newspaper through a set of MCQs. Now, needless to say, that make this lecture series a part of your daily routine because you will stand to gain three things from it. Number one, if you haven't read today's newspaper, well, your current affairs would get covered. If you have read today's newspaper, well, then your current affairs would get revised. And last but not the least, in fact, that is the whole purpose of this lecture series, you will practice the much needed MCQs. Okay? Every day we'll cover 4 to 5 MCQs from that day's newspaper, and if you follow this lecture series regularly, then within a span of 1 year, you will be covering 1200 MCQs from current affairs itself. And I need not say anything about the importance of current affairs in UPSC Prelims Examination. So if you're serious about next year's UPSC, well, you should start now and you should inculcate good daily habits like practicing MCQs on a daily basis. Alright, now I won't bother you further with any other introduction. Let's straight away jump to question number 1. Alright, consider the following statements regarding Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha. It is a statutory post officially recognized in the Salary and Allowance of Leader of Opposition Act 1977. As per the Indian Constitution, Leader of Opposition comes from a party with minimum 10% seats of Lok Sabha. Leader of Opposition is a member of committee responsible for Director of CBI appointment. Okay. Now look, there is a Leader of Opposition in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And it generally comes from the largest party in that house, largest opposition party in that house, not the ruling party, largest opposition party in that house. Okay. Now, the post of Leader of Opposition is not a constitutional post. Nowhere in our constitution it is mentioned that there shall be a Leader of Opposition. It is not mentioned anywhere in the constitution, but it is a statutory post. Statutory post means that it is mentioned in an act of parliament. And which act of parliament? The Salary and Allowance of Leader of Opposition Act. Okay. Within this act, it is also mentioned that the salary and allowance of a leader of opposition will be that of a cabinet minister. Okay, so just remember this fact that it is nowhere mentioned in the constitution. Statement 1 is correct. Now, as per parliamentary convention, now the word parliamentary convention is important. As per parliamentary convention, generally leader of opposition in Lok Sabha is from that party which has secured minimum 10% seats in Lok Sabha. That means as far as the full strength of Lok Sabha is concerned, then 10% of the full strength of Lok Sabha, if any party scores or gathers more seats than that, then that party shall be eligible for the position of leader of opposition. Now, for the past two Lok Sabhas, 2014 to 19 and 2019 to 24, Congress party could not even get more than 54 seats. Hence, Government of India said, or the government of the day said, that they are not eligible for the post of leader of opposition. Okay, because they do not satisfy the 10% rule. But let me tell you, it's just a parliamentary convention. Nowhere in any law or constitution it's written that leader of opposition should come from a party that has minimum 10% seats of the Lok Sabha. So it is not as per Indian constitution, nor is it as per any law. Okay. Now, Leader of opposition has many roles and responsibilities. He is the voice of opposition parties in the parliament. He is also a key member of various committees that appoint various important people. Okay, for example, a committee that appoints director of CBI, a committee that appoints CVC, Central Vigilance Commissioner, a committee that appoints Lokpal, a committee that appoints Human Rights Commission. All right, all these committees that make these key appointments, leader of opposition is a member of them. Okay, so the third statement is correct. Only two statements are correct. The answer will be B. Okay. Question number 2. Consider the following statements regarding Fifth Republic of France. Fifth Republic first came into effect in 1958. Under Fifth Republic regime, France follows a parliamentary form of government. When Prime Minister and President are from opposing parties, it is known as cohabitation in France. Now look, France, after French Revolution, France became a republic. And France actually experimented with various constitutions. Now, the rule under First Constitution was known as the First Republic, Then France thought that this constitution does not serve the people well, hence they changed that constitution and brought in a second constitution that is known as the Second Republic. And then third constitution, which was Third Republic, then Fourth Republic, and the latest constitution that France has been following since 1958 is known as the Fifth Republic. So Fifth Republic, that is the fifth constitution of France, came into effect in 1958 and it is still going on. So first statement is correct. Under this current regime, France follows a semi-presidential form of government. Now, what is semi-presidential form of government? Under semi-presidential form of government, executive power shall be shared between president and prime minister. There shall be separate elections for president and there shall be separate elections for the post of prime minister. Now, for the post of prime minister, I'll explain. There shall be separate elections for president. President shall be directly elected by people every 5 years. Okay? Then there is this thing called National Assembly in France, which is their parliament. All right? Now, after National Assembly elections, the leader of the largest party shall be appointed as the prime minister. Okay, executive powers are shared between prime minister and president. It does not follow parliamentary form of government like ours. It follows a semi-presidential form of government. So this is false. Okay. Now, generally, president and prime minister are from the same political party. If that happens, then the functioning of the government goes smooth without any bitter fights between the two wings of the executive. But at times, prime minister and president come from opposing political parties. And when that happens, that is known as cohabitation in France. Now, right now, National Assembly elections are going on in France, and there are chances that the prime minister that shall be appointed after these elections will be from an opposing political party than Emmanuel Macron, the current president of France's party. All right. So there might be a cohabitation around the corner in France again. Anyway, this is known as cohabitation. Again, only two statements are correct. The correct answer is B. Okay. Next, which of the following can be considered as economic consequence of water scarcity? Now, what are the economic consequences of water scarcity? Okay, food inflation, decline in real income of people, adverse effects on steel manufacturing, benefits for coal-based thermal power generation sector. Okay, now look, recently a credit rating agency called Moody's warned India that their sovereign credit rating will decline if India does not solve its problem of water scarcity. And why did they say so? They say that there are economic consequences of water scarcity. If fresh water sources are scarce in India, then there won't be enough water for agriculture, food production would drop, supply of food would drop, and when supply goes down, prices go up. So there will be food inflation. If there will be food inflation, a significant chunk or a significant portion of people's income would go towards buying food. This would lead to decline in real incomes of people. So this is a consequence. Okay. Now, steel manufacturing and coal-based thermal power generation, both these sectors are water intensive. That means they require a lot of water. So adverse impact on steel manufacturing, not benefit. In fact, there will be disadvantages to power generation sector as well. So adverse effect on both steel manufacturing and power generation, there will be no benefit. Hence, this statement is false. The answer is 1, 2, and 3 only D. All right. And last question. Consider the following statements regarding methane. It is a gas with higher global warming potential than carbon dioxide. Livestock accounts for about 32% of human-caused methane emissions. Oil and natural gas sector is one of the top contributors of methane in atmosphere. Now look, methane is a greenhouse gas. Okay, there are various greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and various other gases. Okay, now methane is worse than CO2. In fact, as far as global warming is concerned, methane has higher global warming potential than CO2. It is more dangerous as far as global warming is concerned than CO2. So it is a gas with higher global warming potential than carbon dioxide. Absolutely correct. Now, major contributors of methane are as following. Number 1 is livestock sector. Okay, cattle rearing, sheep rearing, pig rearing, they contribute a lot towards methane emissions because most of these cows that are being reared, well, these cows fart a lot and their fart contains a lot of methane. Okay, so that is a contributor. Then oil and natural gas sector. Then landfills, waste dumping sites. All right, these are the top 3 contributors. Okay, so this statement is also correct. Oil and natural gas is one of the top contributors. And as per United Nations Environment Program, livestock accounts for 32% of human caused methane emissions. So this statement is also correct. All 3 statements are correct, and the correct answer would be C. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'm sure it has added value to your preparation. Though it will add more value to your preparation if you'll watch this lecture series regularly, if you'll make this a part of your daily routine, because your target is covering 1200 MCQs. And you'll achieve that target if you continue with this lecture series for 1 more year. Okay? So yeah, that's about it. I'll sign off now and I'll see you next time with MCQs from 28th June's newspaper. All right? Thank you so much, everyone.